Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. I think it's official to say now, Dream Chasers Evolutions are taking over FC25 with, quite frankly, the best Evo of the entire year so far this year. It dropped yesterday with this Strike Force 500,000 coin Striker 3 Playstyle Plus insane stat boost evolution. We got to talk about that and how it's creating team of the season level cards. But not only that, it's of course, as you would expect for a 500,000 coin insane Evo, crashing the market. Man, it makes me feel bad sometimes to see how much some of these cards are crashing in price because it just means so many people are losing coins. We're going to talk about how to make some of those coins back today, and plus how we'll look forward to the menu grind even getting one step better today as well, with maybe a player pick SBC and more upcoming. If you're excited for the video, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Now let's start by looking at the latest content in FC25 with some new stuff in objectives, with some player rewards, some good packs, and evolution consumables, but also a trick where you can get two objectives done at the same time. The new Dream Big objective here gives us the Wilson Odobert live card as a final reward. Again, it's a road to the final, which means he's got upgrades incoming if Spurs can win in the Europa League. I don't love the Whipped Pass Plus. Personally, for me, I would have taken another Playstyle Plus instead of that. Rapid is still good. His base playstyles are good as well. Would have liked Inside Forward Plus Plus as his rolls as well, and maybe another Striker Roll Plus Plus. However, those are okay, and he's only 4-star, 4-star. That's not even the best reward. I'm saying that as a Spurs fan. Inside of this objective, we've got good packs like an 82-10, 84-4, 84-5, and two massive player picks, an 85 plus and an 87 plus player pick. And that's not all, right? We have three evolution consumables here at the bottom that give Incisive Pass regular, Power Shot and Chip Shot regular, and also Trivela and Finesse regular playstyle. So they're not playstyle pluses, which maybe some of us would love to see, but this is still very nice for just scoring 4 goals, assisting 4 goals, putting this into a card that you're chaining up in terms of giving playstyles to, as some of the evolutions we've known as of late lack in that area. They don't give out as many playstyles as we would like. This is nice to customize your card in that way. Max 89 overall for all of that. But here's the trick with this objective. You have to complete this all by using a UEFA Dream Chasers item. And of course it says here you can play it in Rivals, Foot Champs, or Live Ultimate Team Friendlies. Sounds familiar. We just started playing Ultimate Team Friendlies in the UEFA Dream Chasers Cup. So you can actually combine this Dream Big objective with the Cup if you have a lower rated Dream Chasers player in your squad. Because once again, inside of the cup, there are those squad requirements, so I have to be a little bit careful there. I think it's worth maybe not getting the cup done in the most efficient way possible, but to put some different players or put a Dream Chasers player in your squad to therefore get some progress in this objective at the same time and be able to complete two things at once. So it might make you a little bit less efficient in just the cup, but getting two of these done at the same time is phenomenal. I realize you won't be able to do the whole thing inside of friendlies. You can't score 3 goals in a single match because it's golden goal mode in that friendly. So to get this one, you will have to also play a Rivals or Champs game to score 3 goals and finish that one off. But it'll be nice to have a couple extra challenges to get done inside of the golden goal mode too. So you could do that, or you could just play this separately. It kind of would be nice if we had the ability to do it in squad battles as well. Then you could kind of AFK it really easy, but EA have gone for a little bit of a harder route there. But I wanted to mention that because you can get it done a little easier if you combine it with the cup. Let's talk real quickly about these Premier League cards. These ones right here, because we know who's getting upgraded. We know who's getting the +1s and 2s. Well, actually, spoiler alert, every single one of these is getting a +2. At least that's how I understand it, because once again, the qualifiers for these upgrades were win 1 match and then also get to the final 4 of the Premier League, and every single one of these 4 clubs got to the final 4 that took place yesterday. Again, that is how it is worded here in the profile. Win 1 match. Werner already did that on Saturday, and then of course reach it to the final 4 and you get that second +1. If you take a look at the bracket, Spurs, Brighton, Man City, and Liverpool all advanced to the final 4. That means obviously all of them won a game as well as advanced, so they are all getting the +2. Now, I don't know when these upgrades are going to be added into the game. We're also going to be awaiting some Fantasy FC upgrades today too, but last call if you wanted to try to evolve one of these and get some further upgrades and then get the upgrade on top of that. Again, evoing live cards is a bit tricky. Remember that if there's an evo you're putting a live card into with stat limits, don't expect that card to get upgraded over the stat limits of that evo that it's upgrading to in the evolution, if that makes sense. That's kind of the golden rule with these live cards. So watch out for those upgrades today, but I wanted to mention that because a lot of people were asking FC Pro what's going on there, and that was happening yesterday. Of course, you could have watched the stream and gotten some progress in that objective too. Now into SBCs, we have the continuation of what all the SBC content during this promo has really brought us. Cheap and good value cards for players that are actually pretty usable in game, including this Ben White SBC, which of course is a road to the final item, so he is live and upgrading for Arsenal's progress in the Champions League. Good playstyle pluses with Anticipate Plus for sure. Slide tackle's all right. It's the regular playstyles though of Incisive and Pinged and the Roll Plus Plus of False Back and Fullback that really make this card pretty usable for the stats that he is. 4-star, 4-star. Again, only 4 squads to complete, coming in at 101,000 coins. You really can't complain at all about this Ben White. Sure, maybe you did Upamecano yesterday, but this is one that you probably just get done with that lower rated fodder if you have it lying around, or at some point in the next, couple weeks that he is out. Make sure to get this one done. Upgrades potentially incoming. Could be a fodder card in the future, or it could be a decent item with upgrades if Arsenal progress. Now, for the Ole card, this is a Dream Chasers item, so again, not any live item of any aspect here, but 87,000 coins, 4-star, 5-star, 98 attack positioning, 97 finishing, every scoring playstyle except for dead ball. Ole hasn't had a promo card this year since Winter Wildcards. Honestly, for this price with those rolls, 84, 85, 86 rated squads, he's the same price as 92 rated fodder. So he could go into the Hullet SBC for you, which he probably will for me, or you could try him out for a really cheap, fun card to use for only 87,000 coins. Again, you really can't be mad about an SBC that's that quality, that is that price and that cheap. So again, W player SBC so far during this promo, some of the cheap ones like Upamecano and the Ben White and Ole we love, and then of course the expensive ones like Hullet that we're grinding to as well. Now the other SBCs, of course, the staple of Sunday content is the refresh of the icon and the hero player picks. I don't think the icon, or I don't think the hero pick changed at all, but the icon pick went from an 87 to an 88 plus. But guys, EA's fooling us here because they only took 2 of the icons out by moving up 1 rating, and they made it more expensive. 86, 87, 88 rated squads. It's actually kind of funny when you take a look at Footbin and you see this is a 68% upvoted SBC, even though it is more expensive this time around. I just think for sure it's an unlimited repeatable icon player pick. If you don't want to grind for Hullet, if you don't like any of the player SBCs that are out right now, go ahead and rip through a few of these. Sure, it may seem like you're wasting your fodder, but it's at least a unlimited repeatable, fun icon player pick to be grinding at this moment in time. You can't say that you hate that because anytime there's that in the game, which there has been now for a number of months, we like it. So the hero pick doesn't have as much hype for sure, unless you're trying to get a card for an evolution. Maybe even the same thing for the icon pick. You're trying to get an icon card that goes into one of the new evolutions that dropped yesterday. Let's talk about the evos, because once again, that is where the content has absolutely cooked. Like, guys, I don't think any of us were ready for the Strike Force evolution that dropped yesterday. Literally the best evolution of FC25 so far. The first 3 playstyle plus evolution since that one Team of the Year Evo that we still, a lot of us, use in our main teams and we haven't stopped talking about since it dropped. And now we have another evolution to kind of one-up that with higher stat boost and 3 very meta 3 playstyle pluses. You get low-driven finesse and quick stat plus, but I think an underrated part of this Evo is the positions that it gives. You can take a card who can only play striker and give them right wing and left wing as well as inside forward plus plus for both of those new positions. That's insane. And that just actually is going to make your 500,000 coin investment into this Evo more worth it in the long run, because you're going to be able to play that player in more positions. These playstyle pluses on these cards, the stats is the biggest thing about this too, right? You're going above 90 in dribbling and pace. If you can find somebody who's got above 90 shooting, your card's going to look even better. I'm going to start showing you guys some of the chains. I'm sure you've seen them. These cards are going to be usable for a long time. These are team of the season level cards. Like, look at the state of this Suarez. I'm sure you've seen it. The Suarez SBC is still out. I haven't completed it yet. Of course I will be. He gets the low driven plus added on here. He gets the 5 pace, the 4 dribbling, and the 10 defense. He gets, I think, maybe a playstyle or 2 as well. But that's just like, what even is that card? 95 pace, 93 shooting, 5-star, 5-star, 94 dribbling. He can play right wing and left wing on inside forward plus plus. That's a card that you literally can just put at striker or right or left wing in your team, again, for months and still be using it and still be meta. That is an insane card. R9 Ronaldo's Winter Wild Cards. This one's bananas to me. People are paying 5 million coins to get this R9 Ronaldo and then putting him into this 500,000 coin Evo. So 5.5 million coins, and then this card becomes untradeable. That is wild. This card, by the way, was like 2.9 million, I think, before the evolution came out. So he has almost doubled in price, which is just crazy. But if that's the number of coins you have and that's a card you want to use, then go ahead and flex it. There are so many good chains as a part of this evolution. Di Natale, Isak, Drogba, even the Doumbia. If you put him into the streets, won't forget. You got a Doumbia card that was a 90 rated that you're like, oh, maybe he can't be evolved. I haven't even finished my Doumbia Evo. He could go into this as well and look cracked coming out the other end. The only thing about this evolution, since it's 500k, we can be a little extra nitpicky about it. The only thing I don't like about it is it only boosts the shooting up to 90. I think the best Evo chains that you see here are cards that have above 90 shooting to begin with. But don't be worried if your card doesn't. Like, I'm thinking about doing Alex Morgan in this one. I'm not entirely sold on who I want to put in this yet because there's so many options and so many great players that can fit into this. But somebody who has above 90 shooting as a base stat is very, very, very good in this one because, of course, they can't get upgraded past 90. So absolutely love this one, man. Of course, a lot of cards are going up because they fit the evolution, like Eto, like the R9. I think some Griezmann, Ronaldo cards, Di Natale. Basically everything on this popular page here is going up because those cards fit the Evo. But then, of course, there's the flip side. And really, guys, we saw this during Team of the Year when the 500k Evo was dropped, but it feels like it's even impacting more of the market now. Downward trends. Prices dropping because people don't need this Doumbia in their team because they're maybe evolving the other one, or they don't need a striker or left wing or right wing in their team because of this brand new Evo, and they're spending 500,000 coins on top of selling cards already. Look at the market. This card literally dropped 1 million coins from 2.3 mil for this Doumbia down to 1.3 mil. We could take a look at so many different cards on this market, like Raul, Harry Kane, which actually he might be, no, he's still down, 1.4 mil. He dropped 1 million coins yesterday because of this evolution as well. He was 2.3, went down to 1.4, almost 1 million coins there. Robbie Keane, Payeur, Griezmann. If you look, down 35% in value, down 38%. Raul, down 41% in value from where he was yesterday before this evolution came out. That's how good this Evo is. Prices are still going to be dropping today, I think, in some areas. Now, we're going to talk about the market a little bit more later, but that's kind of the reason that prices are going down. Obviously, right? People spending 500,000 coins for this, they needed to sell cards to afford it, and then whatever else they had in their team tradable at the time was definitely going to get sold off because why would it stay in the team if you have a new card that is coming out via an evolution that is even better? Like, look, I sold Payeur yesterday. I bought her on the video at what, 375 and sold for 449. A couple of good trades here with Payeur. Sold one at 400, one at 449. Yeah, she's 280,000 coins now. That is just a representation of how bad the market is cooked. Nico Williams, I sold more of him for 450 to 460 yesterday, and now I think he's like 360 or 370. Prices everywhere, not even just attackers are down. It's like the whole entire market just got absolutely cooked yesterday because of that evolution having such a big impact. So that's kind of the downside, right? Because with the content being as good, it's a downside, but also a good thing, right? Great content usually does bring market crashes, especially when it's through paid evos and really, really insane evolutions and SBCs. And we've had really insane evos in the past couple of days, and that just has the market dropping. Now, we're going to talk about the market a little bit more before we talk about the one last evolution that was dropped yesterday. One of the other reasons the market is dropping is because, once again, we mentioned this in yesterday's video, we were wanting to see what EA did, and they did it again. They refreshed the After Party Encore player picks, the 300,000 coin player picks that give you a chance of a team of the year. They refreshed those. That's probably another reason why the market has dropped so much in the past 2 days, but even more yesterday too. Let's go back into evolutions and look at the second Evo that by itself is a good evolution, but it is being far overshadowed by the Strike Force Evo yesterday. It is called GOAT. behavior. Unfortunately, Messi does not fit into this evolution, even though it feels like it's named after him. But you get technical plus and first touch plus. This one requires a few more games, but look at the boost here. Plus 35, vision, ball control, crossing. This seems like a good evo for maybe a gold or a silver, maybe even a bronze card, but it does fit for some very good cards too. Like you can see my Salah here does get finesse and technical plus. He gets low driven play style. He gets dead ball. He gets first touch regular. Of course, the Trivela he gets as well, but he already has it. Finesse shot regular. Like, this is a really, really good evolution as well, man. It really is. Like, that's a great evo for a great stat boost. You get a cosmetic at the end. Sure, it's also paid for 100,000 coins. Nothing for me sticks out in this. Like, yo, I got to get it done right now, and I got to do this one, especially after the other evo yesterday. But what it did do was create another chain for Olise. 2 days in a row with chain evos for this Olise card, the Thunderstruck Olise, which is one of the most overpowered kind of earlier game cards. If you guys remember, this Thunderstruck version was so meta, so hyped for being 4-star, and now he gets boosted, and that made this Olise just drop off a cliff once again. 500,000 coins. He went down to 400 yesterday. Now he's under 300. 2 back-to-back days of crazy evos for Olise. This card is up big, 109,000 coins. This card is down bad as people are evolving the new one. So those were the 2 evos that we had yesterday. But guys, let me know in the comments. I know I put a tweet out yesterday, asked who you were doing in the brand new Strike Force evo. Let me know who you're putting in this evolution, because there are some ridiculous chains. I love seeing a lot of your guys' cards. Some guys are even having like silver and bronze cards into that. They've evolved up, and now it's their time to become super duper meta. And also, if you're looking to make some coins to afford that evolution, let's get into a little bit more market talk. Where does the market go from here? Luckily, I was able to sell most of everything yesterday before the crazy evolution dropped, because I didn't want to take my chances like I did on Saturday. But with so many prices that dropped on the market, including on the Dream Chasers promo team of cards that is in packs, what I would think today is going to be is more rocky roads. I think you're going to see some more crashes. Some cards, as you can see, as we'll take a look through on some of these prices, some cards dropped a lot, rebounded a little bit, but they're probably going to drop a little bit more again today. Who's a card that had a little bit of a rebound? There were some middle tier cards. Musiala is very cheap, 423 at the moment. I think there were some cards in Foot Birthday Team 1 that I was looking at that had actually dropped a whole bunch, but that it actually rebounded a little bit. Again, it was out of packs cards this happened to mostly, but I think what you're going to see today, Jude Bellingham, perfect example right here. This Jude Bellingham card just a little bit ago was down at 800,000 flat, 796. Now he's back up to 895. But would I buy this card right now because he's like going back up to his price before? Absolutely not. I would not expect anybody to return to their original price points that you saw before the Evo was dropped yesterday. The market took a massive hit. It's going to stay down overall, maybe for the next couple of days. It could rebound back slowly in some areas. I think if you're going to try to find something on the market today or tomorrow, you're going to want to avoid strikers and center backs. Remember, center backs are absolutely still cooked on this market in terms of price because of the fact that we got that good Der Kaiser evolution on the weekend. Now, some of them could be rebounding back faster than other cards because they're rare, they're popular, like this Pavard. He's alive still, has a chance to upgrade. So center backs are a watch, but I think I'd more so look at like midfielders, right backs, left backs, and goalkeepers, because those are the ones, like even a guy like Trent Alexander-Arnold, he dropped off yesterday, but like there's no new right backs that were dropped. I mean, sure, you had Ben White, but Ben White compared to this card, who's better at right back? You may not even use this card at right back. You might use him in the midfield because he can play there too, right? That's the type of card that maybe would have a chance to rebound sooner rather than later. So if you're going to try to make some coins this week, just try to be careful. You can time the market. There's going to be more panic, I think, today on some people that are going to sell cards here or there. You can also look at links like this Messi card. I actually picked up a couple of Messis because he links to Suarez, and Suarez is so hyped from this evolution. People are probably going to go back out and be buying this Messi card to be linking to Suarez. So watch out for maybe some Inter Miami links to be moving. But I think the low budget, I know I've been saying this a lot recently, but the low budget, even some of these cards in here like Mateus Cunha, he's a striker, he's a cam, but that's the type of card that I would be trading with right now on a lower budget. Even trading with some of these other Foot Birthday cards that are like kind of fodder. Like yesterday, these dropped too. 52K down to 47 for Serge Gnabry. he's almost back up to 54. It seems like the 91s and 92s are maybe even starting to climb back up in value in terms of SBC fodder. If we take a look at these cards here, they got 81, 82,000 coins for these. I think they were down 85K for Inigo Martinez right now. Yeah, they were down at 78,000 coins yesterday after the content drop because of the 500K Evo being out. So I think when it comes to the market, low budget is going to be the best. Out of packs is going to be the best as well. Just quick flips. That's all that I would recommend doing. High rated fodder in general, I think you'd probably want to sell in the next day or two, just because I feel like we're nearer to the peak. I sold all of my Gavis for 90 to 92K. I could have maybe got a little bit more for him, but I bought those at 70. Those were really, really good moves for like a couple day hold. Of course, got a little bit lucky for the extra boom in price there with the hold at SBC that came out. But I think for the rest of the week, content wise, this is going to be a good week to trade, because I don't think the content's going to be as insane. That's kind of where it boils down to in terms of the market. We're not going to get another 500,000 coin 3-play style plus Evo. We had such insane Evos released over the weekend. I doubt that same level of content is going to happen throughout the rest of this week. So I think that some of the market will be low still today on Monday. You might be able to buy some stuff today, hold it through the week, depending on what other SBCs that we get. But you might see some price rises just from the end of the panic, if that makes sense. Some of the rare out-of-pack special cards could hit their low points and then just kind of naturally go back up throughout the rest of the week, because there's still a lot of people that want to use a card like a 99 passing Frankie de Jong, but he was 800K yesterday, and now he's 600,000 coins. I'm going to add this one here on my watch list on a bid. If I can get that one on open bid there, I'm going to absolutely do it. So get on bids, get on snipes, watch those fluctuations, try to go mostly low budget, and I think you watch for prices to go back up a little bit throughout the rest of this week. Now, let's talk about Monday content today. What's going to shake things up today on a Monday? First thing is, this could shake up the fodder landscape a little bit. Fantasy FC upgrades. We do have a few cards going to 92 rated and a couple going to 93 as well. Dunn, Williams, and Walsh are all going to get a +1 and go to 93 rated cards. I think some people are investing in Dunn and Walsh right now because the cheapest 93 rated cards are 110,000 coins, and those players, I believe, are about 95K. Personally, I don't feel like that's enough of a range to see an investment there for me. Like, sure, you're like, oh, 95 to 110, that'd be good profit, right? Well, that's if they actually go up that high. We've seen earlier on this year with some of the fantasy upgrades, the cards never end up making it that high, but we do have the hold demand now. So I'm personally not going to risk any of my coins into that. The other question is, will EA actually upgrade these cards today, or will they forget like they did last week and not upgrade them until Wednesday? We'll have to see, but I wanted to mention that. And also, a quick shout out here to Fantasy FC Team 2 cards, because some of these players, including Rodrigo, maybe Cucho Hernandez, who's actually up a little bit right now, but some of these players are still live and they have games left to play. And of course, international games are happening over the weekend, but regular club games are going to come back this weekend, which could be the fourth and final game for a few of these cards. It's not looking good for a Pavard upgrade, but maybe for a guy like Alphonso Davies, who's very, very rare. They're playing a team this weekend that they could very easily get a clean sheet. I believe he needs a clean sheet, and he doesn't get a yellow or red card, and then this card gets some upgrades. So there's going to be some hype for some fantasy cards heading into the weekend as well. That is one thing I would 100% recommend doing, is getting on maybe some bids or snipes, or just watching some of these cards that have dipped down some because of this panic that are still live into the weekend. Now, other content coming today, that was kind of a bit of an aside that took us out of just today, but we do have the full list of players that are coming as SBCs. We've seen a lot of these already. Rafa Marquez, Sergio Roberto, Angelino, Bayer, I think, and Correa. Those are the 5 SBCs that we have left, that we have not seen. The Rafa Marquez, the Sergio Roberto look interesting. So does the Bayer. So does the Correa, honestly. But after the 3-play style plus Evo yesterday, that looks way more interesting than most of these cards, in my opinion. But that's why I'm thinking the market could rise back up this week. But I would expect us to get one of these player SBCs sometime today, maybe 2. We'll just have to see what EA go ahead and do. And then the other thing we would expect today as well would definitely be a new player pick pack. The 81 double is going to go away, wave goodbye. The 84.5 is luckily going to stay for one more day, but this one's going to go, and hopefully a nice 81 plus player pick would drop so that we can have more player picks to open and more packs to grind through the nice Dream Chasers pack grind that is out right now. So that's what we're looking forward to today on a Monday. Hopefully it's a good one. I think it's going to be a slower week of content. I could be exactly wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but with how insane the content was in the weekend, there's a lot to catch up on. We've got to make some coins to get the 500K Evo going. Got to get the games in the cup. I mean, it's a good promo. This promo has absolutely like lived up to the hype and even gone beyond that, in my opinion. I thought it was going to be a bit of an L after a Foot birthday. It has been the exact opposite of that. So that's going to be the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on it, comment below if you had questions, and of course, subscribe if you're new. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be streaming today. The voice is still, you may not be able to tell, but it hurts and it's kind of chalked. So we'll see later today how we're feeling or if we just need to rest up and take this one off. But I will see you guys in another video tomorrow regardless. Hope you have a great Monday, and I will see you in a video tomorrow at the very least. Been named TheFutAccountant. Catch you later. Peace out.